For over 100 years, tea has been one of the biggest foreign exchange earners for Sri Lanka, a small island nation at the southern tip of India. Yet beneath this stunning green surface is a truth that's not so beautiful, one that is becoming difficult to ignore. The replacement of large expanses of forest cover of highly endemic biodiversity for the growing of a single crop, tea. Here in the Lipton's Valley area of Sri Lanka's northeastern highlands, this small pocket of forest cover is representative of the cloud forests that once covered most of these mountain slopes. Almost all of the country's 103 river systems stem from these and are critical watershed areas.
2 years ago, when I visited the Lipton's Valley, I found that there was so little forest left. The soil was terribly degraded and all there was just tea. I also looked at the science of it and I found that this was the starting point of the Valave Ganga, principal river system in Sri Lanka. And when I assessed the watershed, I found it to be extremely poor and degraded. The reason why I'm here is to try and resuscitate the land, resuscitate the soil, bring the trees back, and hopefully a forest like this back.
Movani is the director of the Neo-Synthesis Research Centre, which focuses on environmental research and good practices, and has been using this forest for the seedlings of a unique project that aims to restore the watershed of this area. To begin with, she recognised that the changes she sought to bring about could only be achieved through the collaboration of a range of stakeholders, including, crucially, the plantation management companies.
தண்ணி பற்றாக்குறையினால மக்கள் ஜனங்கள் மத்தியிலும் சில பிரச்சனை ஏற்படுது. 5 பேர் பிடிக்க வேண்டிய தண்ணியை 10 பேர் பிடிக்கக்குள்ள அங்கே தண்ணி குறைவு ஏற்படக்குள்ள ஒருத்தருக்கு ஒருத்தர் சண்டைகள் பிரச்சனை சில இடத்துல அடிப்படி வரக்கூடிய சந்தர்ப்பம் கூட இருக்குது. இந்த வெயில் காலத்தில் தண்ணி கண்டிப்பாக வற்றி போகுது. அது சம்மந்தமாக ஒரு பிரச்சனை இருக்குது. அதை விட எங்களுக்கு மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் ரீதியில் பார்க்கக்குள்ள ஆட்களுக்கு தண்ணி இல்லாதனால காலையில் எந்த வேலையை செஞ்சுக்க முடியாத சூழ்நிலை ஏற்படுது. அதே நேரத்தில் அப்போ அவங்களுக்கு நேரத்துக்கு வேலைக்கு வர முடியாது. அதனால் எங்களுக்கு மேனேஜ்மெண்ட்டுக்கு பெரிய ஒரு நஷ்டம் ஏற்படுது சில சந்தர்ப்பங்களில்.
The Neo-Synthesis Research Centre initiated the restoration of the sub-catchment area in the Lipton's Valley, based on a partnership between the plantation management, local government, education institutes in the area and community members. It would be the first time that the plantations would adopt a watershed approach to managing their estates that would involve the repair and better management of natural resources. The school, located right next to the local lake, is very much part of the project. Students are learning both the theory and practice of restoration techniques. The school is being transformed into a demonstration site for good land use practices and a nursery to source endemic plants for watershed restoration. This is the first time that the estate communities are participating in the development of their land. The mountain ridge and the riverbanks in the estates are being replanted with species of the native cloud forests of the area.
මේක ඇත්තටම විශේෂයෙන්ම මේ පායන කාලෙට මේගොල්ලන්ට දැඩි වතුර ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා. මොකද වතුර ප්‍රශ්න නිසා සමාජ ප්‍රශ්න ගොඩක් ඇති වෙනවා. විශේෂයෙන්ම ආරවුල් කරගැනීම් ගොඩක් තියෙනවා මේ ජල ප්‍රශ්නයත් එක්ක. ඉතින් මේගොල්ලන්ට බීමට ජලය තියෙනවා. නමුත් ඒ වගේ ක්වොලිටි එක පිළිබඳ අපට සතුටුදායක වෙන්න පුළුවන් කමක් නැහැ. ඉතින් විශේෂයෙන්ම හොඳ වතුර ලබා දීම මේකේ කාර්මණක් හිටිට අපි කල්පනා කරන්නේ. මොකද වතුරත් එක්ක තමයි සෞඛ්‍ය කියන එක ගොඩක් බද්ධ වෙලා තියෙන දෙයක්. ඉතින් ඒක නිසා අපි වතුර පිළිබඳ විශේෂ අවධානයක් මෙතනදී යොමු කරන්න ඕනේ.
Although the project is just over 2 years old, results are already beginning to show.
සාමාන්‍ය සති දෙකක් විතර යනකොට ඒ වතුර ඔක්කොම සම්පූර්ණ ඉඳිලා යනවා. ඒත් මොකද ඒක කිසිම වතුර ආරක්ෂා කිරීම කිසිම දෙයක් නැති නිසා. ඉතින් අපි මේ වතුර ආරක්ෂා කිරීම සඳහා තමයි මේ වගේ වතුර රඳා පවතින පැල වර්ග දාලා මේ අදලා තින්නේ. ඒකෙන් පස්සේ අපිට වෙනසක් තේරෙනවා මේකේ වතුර දැනට අපිට තියෙන බව.
Home gardens are being incorporated with endemic trees, and people are beginning to turn to organic agriculture. Thiru, who lives on the estate himself, has learned the technical aspects of organic culture, which he is sharing with others.
நான் இந்த ஆளுகளுக்கெல்லாம் கொம்பஸ்ட் செஞ்சு கொடுத்து மார்க்கெட் செய்கிற லிக்விட்
இந்த மூலிகை காட்டிலேருந்து கொண்டு வந்து அதெல்லாம் செஞ்சு லிக்விட் செஞ்சு அதெல்லாம் மரக்கறிக்கும் அடிக்கிற மாதிரி செஞ்சு கொடுத்து எல்லாத்துக்கும் சொல்லிக் கொடுத்து நிறைய இந்த இதுலேருந்து நல்ல நோய் நொடி இல்லாமல் வாழ்கிறதுக்கு மக்கள் செஞ்சு
The wonderful part about a tree is that when it sheds its leaves, they all collect on the top of the ground to form this really thick layer of leaf litter, which with hundreds and millions of soil fauna that eat this, and there is the process of nutrient recycling, and then there is the precious formation of soil. So what we're doing here is restoring the soil, restoring the shade, restoring the cover on the soil. And so what happens is that if you have a waterway and you shade it, you're reducing the evaporation of water out, but more than anything, you're keeping the soil, there's no erosion, there is habitat for biodiversity, there's improvement of water quality. As you can see here, there are insects floating, skimming the surface of this water. Most of these insects are good indicators of water quality, which basically means that if the insects can live and breathe in them, and the tadpoles can breathe in them, and the other hundreds of other frogs and other amphibious forms that live in these waters can live in them, that this water is now fit for drinking.